Hey guys, it's Matt. I don't usually make a video on Monday, but I had to complain about this to somebody, and I'm sure you guys feel the same way. Let me show you. I had to break out the Peter Stuyvesant t-shirt this morning with the magenta, with the towers. I mean, think about that trifecta. Guys, oh, hi, Zara. Look, if there was any more proof of not milk that we needed, which we don't. It's been proven 1,000 times over. Proof of not milk is the way people around us act or react or the download or the frequency. Just, okay, it seems trivial, but it's just incredible what's going on here in the Philadelphia area. They have the entire region freaked out because the temperature in the city could hit 100 degrees or is expected to hit 100 degrees. Of course, they focus on the heat index, 105, 107, humidity. Well, yeah, it's summer. It's going to be humid. I'm sure it's like this. I mean, what is Georgia like if the Philadelphia area? And it's hot all the way up through Boston. But think of it. It's absurd how they're hyping it. I'm just telling you something you already know, but I'll complain about it. You can complain back to me. I'll cry on your shoulder. You cry on my shoulder. If it was just 92 was the high in the city or 93, well, they'd try to make it a big deal, but they really wouldn't. So you're looking at 6 to 7 degrees difference. It's just the number. It's hot, okay? It's hot. It's humid. But here, the main reason I'm making this video, I want to talk about proof of not milk, how everybody just goes along with the download. Everyone's talking about the heat. Okay, maybe the topic is relatively trivial to you, but this is the reason why I'm making this video. I know somebody who is in, let's say the early 70s, that has a certain condition that's in, you could say, an assisted living facility for older people that need a certain degree of care. It's a very large building. I mean, it is at least 6 or 7 stories tall, and it's less than 5 to 8 years old. It's very modern, and I'm sure, who knows what the monthly cost is. It's very, very, very high. Now, I spoke to somebody that interacts with that person, we'll just put it like that, and because it's like the rolling blackout things is where I'm going. I mean, it's 2025. They're shutting. That's just to freak people out. Not milk is so proven 1,000 times over at this point. They're shutting down the air conditioning system. I don't think they're shutting off all the electricity from 8:30 to 11 or something like that, or 8:30 to 10:30, or 8:30 to 11. At least the air conditioning system. This is basically a brand new building. It's 2025. The point is, everybody's freaked out. Everybody's freaked out. Do I need to go over there and be with the person? Well, all this stuff. I mean, so when they built the building or the plans for the building 7 or 8 years ago, they didn't account for it's 2025 that it could be, heat index over 100. What? I mean, what is going on? I could see if it was like an old building with the ivy and the bricks. So this building, Matt, was built in 1915 and we just can't keep up. I can understand that. I can understand that. It's brand new. And who knows? I'm not even going to say what potentially the monthly charge is for this type of facility. It's like it's not milk. It had the ridiculous stress. I can feel it across the whole region. 3 to 4 days they could push close or a heat index over 100. You can feel the tension in who you talk to. And if it was 91 or 92, nobody would really be talking about it. It's 7 or 8 degree difference. So, come on. I don't even have I have a window air conditioner. I have a lot of trees that keep it, that I don't get blasted with the sun. But it's not that big of a deal. I showed you my pool. You just go out and get, that'll cool your body temperature down. People have access. Well, Matt, not everybody even has a cattle feeder pool. People have access to a cold shower. They won't take one. If your body temperature is getting up and you're just completely uncomfortable, even if you're in Arizona at 113, 115 degrees, a cold shower will drop your body temperature. If you're in there for 10 minutes, a half a degree or so. and you're shivering, absolutely shivering at the end, no matter how cold or warm it is outside. But nobody will do it. They'll still take the hot shower. We are so soft compared to our ancestors and those that came before us, guys. I'll come back to complaining about this in a second, but I wanted to talk to you about this. It's related, but somewhat related. I wanted to complain about this for months, and I've kept these over the years, thinking I was going to show you in a video, and I never did. Pico, Philadelphia Electric Company, an Exelon company, whatever. It is our electric company here, and every month, what is this? The blue bar is me, you. Every month it says how you compare to your neighbors in terms of electric usage. And I'm always in the middle. Now, here's a very efficient neighbors are this nice green bar. That's what you should shoot for, you son of a beach. This is you. You're always more than the efficient neighbors, you bastard. And this is the inefficient neighbors, the black bar. These sons of bitches are really wasting everything, and they're really on Al Gore's shit list. Well, see me in the middle? I've never eclipsed the green. Oh, really? Sure. Let's see. I live here by myself with a few cats, ranging from 4 to 2. I've got 2 now, but Gouda just temporarily here. I don't have, for years, I have not had any central air. I run an air conditioner at night, but see, it's like this when there's no air conditioning, there's no heat. In March, April, May, October, November, it's always like this. I'm always in the middle with the blue. So let's just take October. I'm not running any heat. The house is kept extremely, heat's at 60 to 61 degrees because I burn. If I need to get warm, I burn the fire, burn the wood stove. So that doesn't register with Pico. Barely take a shower if it's humidity like this. I'll take a shower every day, but in October I go 2-3 days without showering. I don't run any hot water, and it's oil anyway. It's not even registering. It's oil. That's coming from my oil burner, the hot water. Even if I was taking a lot of showers, which I don't. I run these computers. I have a laptop over here, and then I have the Mac. Where's the electric usage coming from? There's no lights on in the house. I mean, I have an old. You've seen my old washer and dryer. I wash clothes like. I'll wear this. I just broke this out. I'll wear this. Well, today with the humidity, it'll get wetter. But if it was just say October and crisp air, I'll wear this 5 times, 6 times in a row without washing it. I have an older refrigerator, so this is impossible. Okay, yeah, this is impossible. Efficient neighbors. I'm by myself here, and I don't use electricity other than the little laptop and the Mac. Well, okay, I'll turn the bathroom light on when I go in. This is not possible. This is ridiculous. Absolute bullshit. Anyway, and it says here, your energy use was higher than efficient neighbors by 73%. So it's not possible. Anyway, all right, guys. I mean, why just lie to me? Like, unless the sample size for efficient neighbors is, I mean, what could possibly be more efficient than somebody that doesn't bathe, doesn't put lights on, doesn't even have it broke? The central air broke. The heat is low, but it's electric. It's oil anyway. Anyway, sorry to be a little bit repetitive there, guys. The proof of not milk. Let's talk about, just Iran and Israel and now the United States. The proof of not milk is so over the top here in terms of there is something here that guides an individual into the false reality. That it's like a gigantic magnet that guides hundreds of millions or billions or into the false reality, into everything that not milk wants from them. The stress, the paranoia, heat index, and people freaked out. They're freaked. They freaked the F out. And it guides them into everything they shouldn't be doing. Anxiety, stress, worry. Every emotion, and also proof of not milk. You can just see that there's obviously something here that feeds from those energies that are produced. There's just no doubt. It's just completely crystal clear at this point. I mean, and just nobody notices. And I guess I'm just complaining about the same thing. I just wanted to pop in here and complain about this. And you could say to anybody, well, you remember somebody that's 60, 70 years old? Let's say Action News in the late 70s. It was Jim Gardner here. I remember the names. It was who was the Jim O'Brien, the weather guy, who died in a parachuting accident, and chute didn't open or something like that. It was Jim O'Brien, I think. Jim Gardner, the old sports guy, was Don Tollefson. I mean, I was remembering some of the names. And you could say to somebody that's 63 to 65, do you remember we had some heat waves, right? Did they scare you like this? Was it just plastered on the front page of the news and constant talk from your neighbors? And they probably would admit, they would say, no, it wasn't like it is now. But then you start saying, well, this is orchestrated. This is by design, and that they won't ever give it to you. Of course, we know this. I don't know what they would say, but you can't talk to them about it. I'd like to ask them, but the frequency or they're brainwashed to shut down. Of course, that's why you can't wake anybody up. If I tried to say this to one of my relatives that know what I'm into, and Matt's a conspiracy person, they would roll their eyes, and So what I want to ask you: why wasn't everybody freaked out in '78 or '85, or we had heat waves? Like, what is the difference? Why? Well, and I mean, if you pin them down and you had somebody that actually would want to talk to you, I don't know. They just say the same old cliches, like, "Well, Matt, this is just how a modern society evolves," or I don't know what they would say in terms of anything. In terms of Iran and the U.S. and Israel, and they've been. Do you remember in 2004, they were saying about the Iran nuclear threat and the number one state sponsor of terror? How many times have you ever heard that? The number one state sponsor of T-ism. I mean, we've been hearing that forever. Forget now the Stuxnet, the big 60 Minutes breaking story about the Stuxnet computer virus that they put supposedly into the centrifuges to screw them up, like somebody were planning a virus in your Ninja blender or something like that. That was 2008 or 2009. So we're 16 years, not 6 months, or 16 years. This is also another element or aspect of Stalled Century. Stalled Century is not just another Addams Family Values movie, or not just another recycled theme on the television, or Jim Cramer, his 20 years of booyah and his stock picks, and the same people are on CNN and the same people are on CNBC. I went by that. I told you years and years ago. I was just 2002 when I moved in here. I'm just watching the news. I had a little 13-inch television in my kitchen. Sit down, eat my tuna fish sandwich, watch the news. It was mostly Fox News at the time. It was my path through conservatism as a graduated Animal Farm. And after a few years, why am I just watching? Just every time I turn the TV on, why not watch CNBC? At least you'll learn something about markets. I thought you could actually learn. I mean, you don't learn anything about. But so I watched anyway, the point is, I don't want to be too long-winded on that. I went by, I don't know, flipping or something, and it was at least two of the people were the same people that I was watching in 2002 or 2003 on that morning CNBC show about stocks or something. Kudlow or whatever his name. He went to work for Trump, and then now he's back on television. Nobody ever goes with these. Who knows what these entities are, folks? They don't ever this. Is it Larry Kudlow? I think he's back on TV. Maybe he retired. I don't know. I saw him maybe 2 years ago after he came out. Well, is he back in the Trump administration? I saw him on television when Biden was the president, and he's got to be in his 70s. Doesn't anybody want to just say I've had enough? Who knows what this entity is, folks, or what they need? Nobody says, I'm just going to go off and just, I've done Larry Kudlow. If anything were real, I've been on TV on and off for 40 years almost, 35 to 40. I'm just going to, I don't know, be a gentleman gardener, gentleman farmer, and retire to my 25 acres or whatever he has and be left alone. And nobody ever that's in the limelight does it. And it's the same old excuses don't work, guys. Like, Matt, if you ever had that sort of fame, you'd become addicted to it too. No, it's not that. No, it's a different sort of entity, or it was once a real boy Pinocchio, and somehow the not milk has turned it into something. It's an energy vampire. Real boy Pinocchio became wooden Pinocchio. Although the no consequences people believe your spiritual essence and cannot be significantly altered or changed or destroyed, and that's a conversation, a topic for another time. But they just never go off and say I've had enough. Is Warren Buffett? Is he still running company? I mean, you've got to be kidding me. This is let me wrap this up, guys. This is the greatest news of all time because it proves that this species or this entity or this is different than you are. And if this thing is different, and there is a spiritual adversary here, which of course there is, then it wants what you have, and that is the greatest news of all time. What you hold, what you have, from its perspective, is the greatest. Is its ambrosia? Is its I don't know any other word, but it wants what you have, and that means you have it. So it's the greatest news of all time. I just had to complain about this weather thing. It's incredible. 7 degrees, 6 to 7 degrees different. It wouldn't be. Is it really? Is that really going to? The amount. Just one last thing. The amount of stress and news coverage and people that you run into talking about this, and I'm sure it's the same way in Baltimore, Matt. It's the same way in DC. It's the same way in Boston. I'm sure, because this is what they do. And all the weather people just think they're doing the right thing, and they follow the same scripts and the same download. If it was, if we were pushing, something really weird happened, and just the record for this time of year was 98 or 99, and we were pushing 112. Or, in Las Vegas once, I felt 113. Went out to the Hoover Dam, and 113. It was just like standing in front of a hairdryer because the winds at Hoover Dam just whip. And in Phoenix, I used to travel there on business as well. 109, I guess, was my hottest. Actually left my rental car in the baking in the sun all day with the windows up, and I didn't know. I mean, I touched the wheel, and just for a second, I burnt my. I got my hands off quickly, but I burned my hands. I mean, people in Phoenix, that's why they put the shields, and I literally burnt my hands, but it wasn't so bad because I was like, well, how do I drive? I had to be somewhere. Like, how do I cool the wheel down? I don't know if I tried to drive with a towel or napkins. I don't know. But the people in Phoenix, they know what I'm talking about. I felt that. Let's just say that was happening here. That would be commensurate with the amount of talk and people, neighbors talking amongst neighbors. That would be commensurate. We're going to push 109, 110, which is, that's Phoenix, Arizona weather with a heat index of 112, 113, 114. Baghdad and places in Iraq will get to 120 to 125. They would laugh at what we have here. But if it was one heat index of 114, or I could understand that's, and then it's 2025, nothing ever improves. The electrical system never improves. Buildings talking about, and I'm sure they're talking about electrical outages. I just haven't, I don't watch the news. I took a look at the homepage of WPVI Action News just to see, of course, plastered heat warning for 3 days or 4 days, heat warning, stay inside, people that have respiratory issues. What about lung clots? I mean, I'll probably go mow my lawn, or it's not a 112 heat index of 118, okay, but it's not a big deal. You just drink a few extra bottles of water, make sure you get your salts with your water and your electrolytes. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, guys, I guess I'll wrap it up. Just wanted to complain about that. It's just unbelievable. The proof of not milk is all around every day, and we're just crazy people. We're just one of those people. Thanks.